Myths are based on traditional tales. Some might have historical precedent, while others are wholly made up. But myths are more than just stories, and they have deeper meaning in both ancient and contemporary civilizations. Before we discuss the scariest myths, hit the subscribe and like button for more videos about the most dangerous, deadliest, and scariest videos. Myths are revered narratives that describe the universe and human existence. Here are the top 10 scariest myths. Number 10. Dead Woman's Crossing, Weatherford, Oklahoma. Atlas Obscura claims that this is a typical murder mystery turned ghost story. In Weatherford, Oklahoma, in the early 1900s, Katie DeWitt James left her house with her infant after requesting a divorce from her husband. She intended to live with her cousin, but she never contacted her family. It was discovered after an investigation that she had moved in with local prostitute Franny Norton. She left the house with Franny and her child in a carriage when she was last saw. Without Katie, Franny returned with the toddler, who was covered in blood. Her head had been severed when her body was later discovered next to a nearby brook. Katie's ex-husband allegedly had her killed with Franny's assistance, but Franny insisted she had nothing to do with it. However, she poisoned herself the day before she was to be questioned by the police. But Katie is still here. People have claimed to have seen her as a blue light floating throughout town, and they have heard a woman searching for her kid and the sound of wheels rolling. Number 9. Zombie Road in Wildwood, Missouri. Zombie Road, located outside of St. Louis, is a hub of paranormal activity. Lullerford Road, as it is officially known, is the source of numerous spooky tales, including reports of Native American ghosts roaming the area and incidents involving trains. There formerly were active tracks there, including the one with Della Hamilton McCullough being hit by one. It developed into a well-like late-night teen hangout location in the 1950s, and several murders also took place nearby. Additionally, it's supposed to be the residence of a murderer by the name of Zombie who escaped from a mental institution. The length was recently renamed a nature trail, but it is now closed at night, with hefty fines for those who dare to trespass. Number 8. The Ghost of Deer Island in Biloxi, Mississippi. Anthony Ragusan, often known as Mr. Tony, first told this story in a Sun Herald column on May 20, 1922. He claims that two fishermen camped up on Deer Island off the coast of Biloxi in the early 1800s. They were aware of noises, but they disregarded them until it was impossible. They asserted that when they investigated the disturbance, they discovered a headless skeleton that pursued them. They hurried from the island and promptly headed for their boat. According to legend, the skeletal frame belonged to a pirate whose commander hacked off his head before leaving his corpse behind as a grotesque guardian to watch over hidden wealth. Number 7. The Bellamy Bridge Ghost, Marianna, Florida. Travel over this eerie bridge in Marianna, Florida, where, according to its official website, the building is the subject of countless ghost legends, for a taste of true frightening love. Elizabeth Jane Croom Bellamy wed Dr. Samuel C. Bellamy, a local politician, in the 1830s. Her garment unintentionally caught fire on the evening of their wedding, leaving the young bride with horrific burns. Although she initially lived, she eventually died. According to legend, Elizabeth's love for her husband was so intense that she was unable to sleep. She was interred alongside the banks of the Chipola River. From the bridge, one may purportedly see the dead newlywed, clad in white, strolling the banks, which was built after she died. She allegedly looks to be on fire while either going through swamps, leaping headfirst into rivers as if to put out the flames, or pensively strolling alongside rivers. Number 6. Hug and Molly, Abbeville, Alabama. In Abbeville, Alabama, it's advisable to stay indoors after sunset if you don't want to be embraced by Hug and Molly. According to mythology, a large man dressed in all black started prowling the streets at night in search of unsuspecting victims in the early 1900s. When she becomes fixated on someone, she hugs them while screaming angrily in their ears. Numerous people have related tales of being pursued by a dog they think to be Hug and Molly. Even local parents have used the fable to discipline their children. The community proudly refers to itself as the home of Hug and Molly, embracing their nightly guardian. In fact, she inspired the name of a family-friendly restaurant. Before we move further, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Number 5. The Ghosts of the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Spend the night in the 1886 built, eerily haunted Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. A construction worker called Michael was slain, and it's said that his ghost still supposedly haunts room 218. In 1937, Norman Baker, a well-known medical fraudster who thought of himself as a doctor, acquired control of the hotel. He converted the hotel into the Baker Cancer Hospital and declared that he had a treatment for the condition. He did not, obviously. The hotel's basement acted as a makeshift mortuary, and patients who passed away while under his care were buried there. Although he was detained in 1940, it is claimed that his patients' spirits are still with him. Customers frequently report seeing apparitions and hearing disturbances while staying at the hotel because it is still open. Even footage from Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters shows movement in the basement. Number 4. The Bellwich, Adams, Tennessee. If you enjoy horror films, you may already be familiar with the Bellwich. The stories are the inspiration for the movies The Blair Witch Project and An American Haunting. John Bell moved his family to Red River, now known as Adams, Tennessee, in the early 1800s. Red River was a part of Tennessee. They moved into the new house, and then strange things started happening. Dogs starting barking, shackles rattling, rodents chewing, and a lady whispering were some of the strange noises the Bell family started experiencing. The Bellwich was that woman, and many people today think that she is the ghost of Kate Batts, the Bell's former neighbor. Before she passed away, Batts vowed retribution on the Bell family for a land dispute they had. Bell afterwards passed away from poisoning, which is thought to have been the Bellwich's doing. Number 3. The Crying Lady in the Dakota, New York, New York. Since it first opened in 1884, the apartment complex known as the Dakota in New York City has been home to numerous wealthy and illustrious tenants. In 1973, John Lennon and Yoko Ono moved in, and on December 8, 1980, John was also murdered outside the building. John said he saw a weeping lady ghost walking the corridors before he passed away. Then, following John's passing, Yoko, who continues to reside in the building, claimed to have seen John's ghost playing the piano. According to Yoko, John said, "Be not terrified. I remain here with you." Number 2. Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham, Alabama. 5 years after the Civil War, Birmingham, Alabama, was established, and with it came the requirement for tons of pig iron to repair America's deteriorating infrastructure. Colonel James Withers Sloss began building Sloss furnaces to meet the demand. According to the company's official website, hundreds of employees entered the building a year later. Working on blast furnaces was a sophisticated and risky job. As workers began plummeting to their deaths and being burned alive in the furnaces, this risk became quickly apparent. As soon as James Slag Wormwood, a ruthless foreman, started working at Sloss, things only became worse. Reader's Digest claimed that Wormwood employed risky actions to boost production. As a result, during his tenure, approximately 50 employees perished at work, and many more were involved in tragic accidents. His workmen allegedly threw him into the furnace as payback in 1906. If you dare, you can still wander the grounds today. While there, among other strange happenings, you might hear Slag's voice urging his staff to go back to work. Sloss even sponsors a spook night based mostly on the Slag tale every year around Halloween. Number 1. Surrency, Georgia's house ghost. In 1870s Surrency, Georgia, residents reported ghostly activity. Family members described seeing objects fly across rooms, hearing laughter and sobbing, and seeing crimson eyes. Food was tossed and utensils twisted. The villagers felt these were screams for help from spirits who thought the family could save them. On the day the family left, a fire iron supposedly drifted up and hit one of the sons. The house was never inhabited again, and it burned in 1925. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.